you know, I guess the YouTube VOD is just gonna be a little bit less optimized, and that's okay. I don't mind. And hopefully my 3 people that are on YouTube that actually look at my VODs won't mind either. Hello, welcome. I'm gonna wait to really properly get started, but I guess I can start by saying that that this collection from Arcana Lacquer is coming out tomorrow. This is a tarot-inspired collection. So it's called Du Jeu de Tarot, and which translates roughly to the game of tarot. Yeah, so it's an 8-piece collection. These 2 down here are actually separate, but I am going to be looking at them as well tonight because they are releasing at the same time. These 2 are going to be a charity duo. So I will discuss those, but I think we will probably go through the actual collection first, and hopefully won't get interrupted too much by my camera that's off to the side trying to film this for the YouTube VOD. 8-piece collection. As I said, these are all releasing tomorrow. And we have 2 magnetics and 2 solar reactive, and then the rest are, you know, shimmers and flakies and whatnot. So the 2 solar reactive are these 2 lighter colored ones, and the 2 magnetics are the upper left and lower right corner. And I'm going to go through them in order. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint them actually on my nails. And then we can do some combos if people want to see some combos. And I also did a little bit of just playing around with some marbling earlier on, just to sort of see how well they would play together. I also did a little bit of fluid art earlier, just sort of setting up and prepping for this. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So, let me just move these babies off to the side here. I also thought it might be kind of fun to look up the meanings of all of these. I don't personally do tarot. I've never really engaged with tarot. I have some friends who have been into it, but it's not really been my kind of thing. You know, nothing against it. It seems fun. I just haven't done it. So I don't really know a whole heck of a lot, so I just kind of I pulled up some stuff on Wikipedia, actually, about the various different tarot cards, and so what I discovered was that all the ones that they're doing for this collection they're part of the major arcana, and of course, you know, it's about time that they did an arcana or a tarot-based polish, given that their name is Arcana. So, hello, welcome. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I will do the 2 magnetics in both velvet style and with a ring magnet, but I think what I'm going to do is just do the ring magnet version on swatch sticks rather than on my nails, because I only have a limited number of nails to work with, and so I can't really double up too much. So the first one that we are going to look at, wait a second, let me get my velvet magnet out so that I have that handy, because the first one we're going to look at is actually one of the magnetics. So this is the Magician, and like I said, I did look these up, and I'm just going to briefly tell you what the Wikipedia article says for these cards. So, you know, obviously, grain of salt here. I don't know if the Wikipedia editors know what they're talking about. But apparently the upright magician represents potential and tapping into one's talents. And the reversed magician, so if it's upside down, I guess, the potential and talents are unfocused and unmanifested. And apparently there are like a bunch of different ways that these things can be interpreted, depending on context. It says that the reversed magician can also be interpreted as related to black magic and madness or mental distress. Experiences recognized as, like, in some societies as shamanism and similar things, and also in technological societies, they say, as schizophrenia. So I guess there's a little bit of sort of ideas of madness involved with this in certain contexts. Sort of seems interesting. Anyway, so that's one coat of the magician, and this one builds up really beautifully. You can wear it in 2 coats quite easily, especially with the velvet style. I think with the ring style or cat eye style, you do want to have probably a 3rd coat. Most people will want to have a 3rd coat. Melbell Elephant. Hopefully I said that right. It says, whenever I've done tarot just casually with friends, I feel like at least half are always upside down. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? Like, statistically, you're going to have a certain amount of just upside down stuff. So, actually, you know what? Rather than the ring, I'm going to use the cat eye, because I feel like more people are likely to be using a cat eye. See if I can do this at the same time. Oh, no, I'm not going to be able to. All right, you know what? We're gonna use, oh dear. We're gonna use one of my wands here for this. So this is gonna make life easier than using the bar. Okay, so we'll do the cat eye on swatch stick. I'm sorry I can't do all of the magnetic styles on my fingers, but I have a whole 8-piece collection to get through. We are going to go back and do multiple coats of these, so I'm just going to go ahead and sort of set this aside for the moment so we can move on to the next one. When did I start Menma? I just started like less than 10 minutes ago. You're right at the beginning. So you've just seen the very first one. The second one here is the Lovers. And the Lovers, apparently in the upright position, means attraction, or it refers to attraction, love, beauty, and trials overcome. And reversed is failure. Hang on, let me paint a second. I can't actually paint without looking at it, and I also can't read without looking at the words, so, you know, it's one at a time. Reversed, failure and foolish designs. Another interpretation refers to, like, marriage frustrated. Its appearance in a spread indicates some decision about an existing relationship or a temptation about the heart. So that's the Lover. The holo on Magician is insane. Yeah, and that's one coat. So, like, it's just freaking gorgeous. Yeah, Menma, I know it's weird. I can't look at 2 different places at once. It seems so unlikely. I'm so skilled in so many ways, and yet here I am. So this third one is the Hermit. And the Hermit is all about prudence, circumspection, especially treason, dissimulation, roguery, and corruption, which is very interesting. And reversed, it refers to concealment, disguise, policy fear. I'm not sure what that is, although, you know, maybe these days. And unreasoned caution. Unreasoned caution sounds like, I don't know, Like maybe they're talking about like paranoia weirdness. Unreasoned caution. What do you suppose unreasoned caution is? I don't know. The Hermit is freaking gorgeous. All of these are, oh, geez, Murphy. All of these are going to build up really, really beautifully. I think for my swatches for all of these, I did do 3 coats, but some of them are pretty good in 2. And so depending on like the length of your nails and what sort of a look you prefer, some people might just do 2 for this. Yeah, there's lots of things I can't do, Menma. Come on. Welcome, Ray. All right. I didn't show you the name of this one. This one is the Star. This is the next one. So the Star is loss, theft, privation, abandonment. But another reading says hope and bright prospects. So that kind of seems like opposites. I don't know, man. These guys got to make up their minds. And the reversed star says arrogance, haughtiness, and impotence. I don't think they mean just like, you know, sexual impotence. I think they're talking about a broader meaning of impotence. But that's one coat of the Star. I do also want to try a bunch of these on swatch sticks over, like in a single coat over black. I think that would be fun. Hello, Ray. Kat, are you suggesting that there are inconsistencies in the tarot? How dare? How dare? The next one is the Moon, and this is actually one of my favorites in the whole collection. My very favorite is obviously going to be the Magician because, you know me, magnetics, I'm a complete sucker for them. And I adore the Hermit, but the Moon has a special place in my heart to begin with, and also it's a really beautiful solar polish. Now, I will show you with the UV torch that I have, but obviously, and I want to be really clear about this, the UV torch is never exactly the same as, you know, going outside in the sun. Sometimes it can give you a different color. Sometimes it's just a lot more intense. So like this goes a very dark, like indigo that is a lot more purple. Like when I have it on my nails and I use the UV torch, it's a lot more purple on my nails than it is when I put it out in the actual sun. So something to be aware of whenever you're looking at people's swatches of solar polishes is that if they are not using natural sunlight, it may not accurately represent what the polish looks like out in the sun. So I did end up being able to get some late sun shots, but those were after I had done my initial swatching of these. And so I don't think they're going to be in the official photos up on the website. But I did post those up in my stories. And I can post them again as well. I just did I did one hand. I did 2 fingers of the Moon and 2 fingers of the Sun. So the Moon represents hidden enemies, danger, darkness, terror, deception, occult forces, and error. You know, the Moon's always getting the shit end of the stick, I gotta say. People like to say some terrible things about the Moon. I think it's misogyny. Everybody knows the Moon is a chick. Reversed Moon is instability, inconstancy, silence, lesser degrees of deception, and error. So there you go. The next one here is also I should show you this one as well. This one is also a solar. This is the Sun. And this one has this really beautiful, like magenta, purpley kind of shimmer to it. But when you hit it with that UV, it goes super orange. And it's interesting because when it's more orange, the shimmer looks more pink, even though the shimmer itself is not actually changing. It's just the background appears a little bit more pink, I think, because the background is, because the orange that it's on top of is pulling it a little bit hotter. Anyway, this one actually does look a lot like this in the sun. It doesn't go quite as dark in natural sun, but it does go quite orange. So it's a pretty accurate sort of look at what that's going to do in sunshine. So, also I love the idea of making the sun and the moon both solar polishes. That makes me very happy. Just, you know, from a thematic viewpoint, it amuses me. 'Cause, you know, sun, man. Anyway, it's a very pretty, both of them are very pretty and delicate polishes in the absence of the UV, but they got this whole extra thing going on. Okay, and the interpretation for the sun card, it says material happiness, fortunate marriage, and contentment. And weirdly enough, you'd think that the reversed sun would be the opposite of that, but in fact it is the same, but less so. So, I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to explain to me how tarot works, because I don't get it. Judgment. This one is Judgment. This is a flaky bomb. It's a real fun one. Judgment interpretation is change of position, renewal, and outcome, whatever that means on its own. Sort of a strange way to phrase that, I think. And it says another account, because I guess that information is from a 1910 book. It says another account specifies total loss through lawsuit. Specifically through lawsuit. I guess that kind of makes sense with a card called Judgment. I don't know. Reversed, it is weakness, pusillanimity, simplicity, also deliberation, decision, and sentence. Pusillanimity. My goodness. Let's find the actual. I want to find the definition for pusillanimity, because I know I've heard it before. Well, I've heard pusillanimous as a descriptive term. It says lack of courage or determination, timidity. So there you go. All right. And the last one here is the world, and this is another magnetic one, and also with the holo magnetic. So we are going to do this one as well on the swatch wheel. We'll do it right beside the magician, so you can, once we build up a couple of coats of it, you'll be able to see it better, but you can see the difference between them. Because they are, despite both appearing as purple magnetics, they are very different from each other. For one thing, the magician actually isn't purple. It looks purple, but it is not purple. Ray says the sun is all-powerful, so it cannot be reversed. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Okay, where am I here? The world. So the world is interpreted as assured success, recompense, voyage, emigration, flight, change of place, and reversed, it is, hang on, let me get in here. Reversed, it is inertia, fixity, stagnation, and permanence. So I was reading actually some stuff about the world earlier, and there's all this like weird stuff with like encompassing like male and female energy on an inner level, and like integrating opposing traits and creating turmoil. or these things that normally would create turmoil, but in this card they like are joined together as an ideal goal. And it's sort of an interesting. I'm not sure how that fits in with reading a tarot, but I guess again, if you know, tell me. I'm kind of curious. And I'm also curious if there's going to be a part 2 of this collection, because of course this is just a smattering of the major arcana. There are a bunch of them. I think there's like 20-ish major arcana cards. So it seems like, if your brand is called Arcana, you should probably do at least all the major arcana, right? Abby, Brandy, one of you was in here. Ray, relationship goals. Hey, Lizmo, welcome. We're doing a little collection swatch out here. Oh, I see that face. Arcana Lacquer is in the chat being coy about the possibility of a second part for this collection. Your lips are sealed for now. All right. Okay, so there's one coat. So we're at one coat of everything now. I don't have anything on my thumbs yet, but we're going to get to the first coat of what I'm going to put on my thumbs. And so this is a charity duo that will be released at the same time. So this is separate from the tarot collection, but it is coming out tomorrow as well. And this is to raise funds for a charity organization that helps out kids with various kinds of pediatric cancer, I think. And there's one in particular type of pediatric cancer that I don't have the name in front of me right at the moment. I'm sorry. But the Arcana Lacquer, both the website and the Instagram account have all the information about both the type of cancer, that these are DIPG. Okay, it's DIPG, which I don't remember what that stands for, even though I definitely read about it. But you know me, I can't be expected to hold information in my head for more than 30 seconds at a time. But yeah, so there's Harvesting Hope is a full coverage shimmer that is absolutely gorgeous. It's got a berry base and this beautiful sort of bricky orange shimmer in it. And then Glitter is Tough is designed as a topper, although you can definitely wear it on its own. It looks quite cute in 3 coats on its own. Okay, so Arcana is saying it's a type of brain cancer. Hard to remember the actual scientific name, which is probably why they shorten it to DIPG. Anyway, so this duo is only sold together, I believe. They are not going to be splitting. So if you're getting the duo, you're getting the duo, you can't just get a single one of them. But they look gorgeous layered over each other. Or with the topper layered over the base. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to do the base color, Harvesting Hope, on one thumb, and the topper alone on the other thumb. And then I'm going to also do the topper layered over the base on a swatch stick. Now, it will take an extra coat, I think, on the swatch stick to build up, or swatch wheel, rather, since it is a clear wheel, but it should give you a pretty good idea. So there's Harvesting Hope, first coat. So you can really see the berry base in a single coat. As it builds up, you get more and more of the orange shimmer. So that sort of totally changes the tone of the polish. And then with the topper, when you wear it on your own, on its own rather, not on your own, on its own, you get more of the orangey tones and these iridescent flakes. You can really see the iridescent flakes. They have this sort of blue shift to them when it's worn on its own. But over top of the Harvesting Hope base, the blue kind of disappears and you get mostly just the fiery flakes. So it's quite a gorgeous combo, but also both very beautiful on their own. So that's Glitter is Tough. So, Unsure Virgo, really pretty colors and for a great cause? Absolutely. Yep. Okay, so let's go in for our second coat of everything. So you can start to see how these babies build up. So this one, the Magician, which as I said before, my absolute favorite of the collection to nobody's surprise. And it would perhaps be a surprise to some people who know that purple is not typically my favorite color. But first of all, magnetic, please. it trumps everything else. But also, it's not actually a purple polish. It looks purple in a lot of contexts, especially once it's built up. It looks very purple. But it's actually navy. It's a navy polish, navy base with a red shimmer. So this is actually a sibling of... Oh, bye, Lismo. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, so this one's actually a sibling of My Life as a Mantis Shrimp. Or My Life as a Shrimp, sorry. My Life as a Shrimp, which was inspired by Mantis Shrimp, which is why that's in my head as part of the title, but it isn't. My Life as a Shrimp was a green from was it 2 collections ago, earlier this summer. And stunning polish. Green base, red shimmer, hollow magnetic, absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorite magnetics, I think, of all time, currently. Yeah, so this is a sibling of that. So it has the same shimmer and the same hollow magnetic pigment, but with a navy base instead. But of course, if you put a red shimmer over top of a navy base, then it's obviously going to look overall sort of, it gives strong purple vibes. So yeah, I've been sort of referring to this as being a purple sibling, even though technically it's a navy sibling. All right, that's probably long enough. Okay, back to the Lovers second coat. And this is where you're going to start to see all these beauties start to look like their final form. So depending on how you feel about visible nail line, you may be happy with these in 2 coats. If you don't like visible nail line, you're going to want a 3rd coat or some kind of a base. But I actually think that that these look quite nice in 2 coats. Personally, I don't mind a little bit of visible nail line, as long as the polish applies nicely. It's fine for me. It's just the only time I really hate it is if the polish is like a very dark color, and so I feel like that sort of looks weird sometimes. But that's a me problem. But yeah, I know some people don't love to have visible nail lines, so if you don't, then you're going to want a 3rd coat of these. That one's the Hermit in 2 coats. And now the Star. And the Star is a really interesting one because it kind of, like in some lighting, it really looks gray. But it's actually like a purple to green shifting, I guess it's a shimmer. And And I think it is in maybe a gray base. I'm gonna have to look up the, oh geez, I've made a hell of a mess on myself here. Look at that, you see that? That's some, will only record for half an hour at a time. I'm recording off to the side for my YouTube channel that I'm kind of trying to actually get going. But it'll only record for half an hour at a time, so I have to keep restarting it again. All right, so that's 2 coats. And now we will move over to this hand and continue with the moon, which has these super cute little glitters in them that are like, most of the time they just look like silver glitters. They are hollow, but I find that the hollow flash I don't see very often, and I think that has a lot to do with them being in a crelly. Oh, I've got a cat hair or something here. That is definitely a cat hair. You know, like, it's not a mani if I don't have cat hair in it. Okay, so yeah, it's got these cute little silver hollow flakes in it, and most of the time I do not catch the hollow on them, but when I do, it is cute. But I really actually like it as just silver flakes. I think it's super pretty. And then let's get the UV going on there. And like I said, in the actual sunlight, it, to me, looks a little more blue than purple. Like it still definitely has purple, you know, it's more of like, it's more in between rather than like straight ahead purple, which is how I sort of see it, when it's using the UV torch. I think the sun is just a little bit, I don't know if it's just that it's less intense most of the time. Or if it's a slightly different wavelength that's, you know, changing the color of it. So that's 2 coats of the moon. And again, I really like this one with a little bit of visible nail line. I think it's cute. This one is the sun. Very delicate, cute polish. Just sort of pinkyish until it gets hit with that UV. Ooh yeah. Goes very orange. It doesn't go quite this orange in the sun. But if you give it a beat, this is about how orange it goes in the sun. I will probably just repost my sunlight photos of that at some point, maybe in my stories. Oh, and by the way, I saw just before I went live that wish listing is actually open for these now on arcanalacquer.com, I believe is the website. I think they open properly tomorrow evening. I'll have to double check the time. My brain is telling me it is 6 p.m. Eastern, but my brain is frequently incorrect about these things. My brain is frequently incorrect about almost everything. The other day, last week, Brian, we were talking about, you know, our meal plans for the week, and Brian said, "Oh, and we'll have to go out for dinner on Wednesday." And I said, "We do? What? Why? What's Wednesday?" And he didn't respond. And I took a moment and I went, "Oh, Wednesday was our anniversary." I don't remember shit, y'all. I have the worst brain. I tell you, the worst. Okay, Arcana Lacquer, thankfully in the chat, here to save me. It is, in fact, as my brain thought, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or whatever we're on right now. Yeah, that's when it's going to go proper live. But as I said, wish listing is open now on their website, arcanalacquer.com. I'm just also doing the cat eye one on the swatch wheel off to the side there, which I will show you once it's dried just a little bit. Yeah, my brain is very selective. Like, it will retain the binomial names of all kinds of insects and arachnids, while forgetting anything vaguely related to a date or a name of a human. Like a moody teenager, yeah. Love that for me. It's very good. Couch Potato and May, welcome. We're just finished up our second coat, and I think I am going to do a third coat so that y'all can see the way they look in 3 coats, because I know a lot of people don't like to see visible nail line. And you can see that in the world, with the velvet, it is when the magnetic pigment isn't sort of dominating, you can see some visible nail line there. I don't see as much with the Magician on my index there. But yeah, we'll do 3 coats of everything. We're going to return briefly to the charity polishes. So Harvesting Hope. And again, these are raising funds for a charity that helps kids with a type of brain cancer called DIPG. I think I got that right. It's been a whole hot 5 minutes since I last saw it written down, so as we were just saying, the brain, she works so well. Oh, I wanted to do a second coat of this on the swatch stick. Come on. I have my swatch wheel off to the side here. Very convenient, so that y'all can't really see it. But at least it's not in my way, mostly. And then the topper for the charity duo, and again, these are not going to be available individually. They will only be available as a duo. And I'm going to show you on the swatch wheel what it looks like when you layer the topper, which is called Glitter is Tough, over the base, once I have the base built up enough. But because it's on a clear swatch wheel, I definitely want 3 coats on it before I do that. It's going to be more similar. Actually, I guess I could do it on my thumb instead if people prefer that, but regardless, it's time. We're going in for our 3rd coat, folks. Oh, they will be available individually? Oh, okay. I thought they were only going to be available as a duo. All right, well then I lied, y'all. They will be available individually, and I'm a big fat lying liar. So, there you go. Sorry.
Somebody is reporting a photo of Aurora right here in Columbia. I'm going outside.
Somebody is reporting a photo of the Aurora here?
Right here, yeah.
Well, get your butt outside and look then. Apparently the Aurora...
9G45. It's on right now.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody knows what that means.
Yeah, I definitely know what that means. Thank you. The thing about...
The sun farted on us.
Yeah, I know the sun farted on us. The thing about being married to an astro nerd is that when there are cool events happening in the sky, you always get to know about it, which is great. But also, they will talk to you a lot about what that thing is, using words that you do not understand at all. And they will not explain. But yeah, so we're down in Maryland, about halfway between Baltimore and DC, for those of you who are familiar with the region. So So we're relatively far south-ish. And apparently there are people posting photos of the aurora tonight, like right now. So Brian has run outside to see it. There was a quite large solar storm. There was a very big coronal mass ejection. And so we're having quite a solar storm at the moment. And last time there was one this strong, they were able to see it even in some parts of, like, I think even Texas got to see a little bit of it in parts of northern Texas. So it gives you an idea of just how strong that solar storm is. Normally you're not able to see that sort of thing much south of the 49th parallel. All right, so that's the third coat of the Lovers there on my middle finger. You never get cool stuff there, Maymay, but you get hurricanes and tornadoes and floods. So that's exciting. But the fact that you are here online, I assume that means you have power in your place. Yeah, Menma, it is theoretically possible that people in Maymay's latitude would be able to see it, but most likely they would only be able to see it very faintly and probably would not actually notice it unless they were like happened to be taking a photo of the sky for some reason and then looked at the photo, because your cameras tend to be a lot more sensitive to that kind of thing. Did you ever lose power at all, Maymay? Your area wasn't badly affected. I know you weren't in the direct path. So this is the third coat of the Hermit, and I didn't mention it before, but there's this like really lovely, I think it's a gold reflective that is just, I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's just a lovely little bit of sparkle that I'm seeing, even though I'm not in like ideal lighting here for seeing reflective polish. Maybe you can see it better in the bottle, I don't know, but yeah, you should be able to see that sparkle around the edges at least. Yeah, it's just a really lovely little added bit of sparkle to this polish. I really like the Hermit. I think it's quite lovely. It's got like I think it's a light brown base. It's sort of a grayish, yeah, it's not quite gray. It looks sort of slightly fawn colored. This one is called the Hermit, the green one. It's really beautiful. Okay, and then I got some sort of polish flake here on this finger, but we're just going to ignore that. So we'll do our third coat of the star. Try not to completely flood this time. There we go. There's the third coat of the star. Try and actually put this freaking lid back on correctly. I'm struggling today, y'all. Struggling. Okay, so there's 3 coats of the Magician, the Lovers, the Hermit, and the Star. And actually, let me just go up here and give you a look so you can see the shimmers a little better in these. In the ones that have shimmers. When they are shifty, it is easiest for me to show you that by holding it right up against a light right there, which obviously, you know, that's not the most realistic way you're going to see them most of the time, but since, you know, walking around, you are going to see those shifts. It's nice to be able to show them a bit. Okay, now on to the moon. Third coat. Yeah, the Magician, Awesomest Girl, you know, the Magician is freaking amazing. It is absolutely my favorite because I am just a total sucker for a good magnetic. I am obsessed with magnetics. They're my favorite. They're my favorite to swatch. I know a lot of swatchers like really hate swatching magnetics, or like they just find them to be a huge pain in the butt because they do take longer. You know, they are a little more work. But I think the payoff is so worth it. I'm just completely obsessed with magnetics. All right, that was the moon. This is the sun. And the sun, like, I don't think with either of these, I don't think you're ever going to get them completely like built up so there's zero visible nail line. They both are crellies. So, you know, you're going to have a certain amount of visible nail line unless you put an undie under them. But I don't know. I think that's, I consider that to be a feature. Do I know if they are restocking others on their site with this launch? Every time I go to buy the ones I want are out of stock. As far as I know, at least some are being restocked. Either Abby or Brandy was in the chat. If they are still here, maybe they can answer if there's going to be some stuff restocked. But to my knowledge, yes, they will be restocked. Oh, and let me show you again. Let's hit it with the UV. There, come on. My UV torch is, there we go. It's been acting up lately. All right, so that is the UV. And again, I have to say, once again, I feel it is my responsibility to point out that the UV torch is not identical to the sun. So, you know, if you can see the swatches, check the swatches to see which ones are in actual natural sun. And that will give you a better idea of really what what you can expect to see in sunshine, because it is not identical. It's very similar. So like this one, the sun, it does go this shade of orange with the pinky shimmer. It'll get a much darker orange in UV with a UV flashlight than it will with just the sun. And with the moon, I found that it comes out more purple for me with a UV torch than it does out in the sunshine. It was a bluer purple, much more to the blue side for me. Okay, third coat of Judgment. Oh, and someone had wanted to see, I did a swatch earlier of Judgment over black, and it is quite a bit different over black. So I think what I'm going to do after I've finished with all of these, I'm going to do just one coat on the swatch wheel with black behind all of the ones that I think could you know, be interesting that way, which would basically be everything except for the moon and the sun, because crellies over black don't really usually work super well, but all these other ones should be interesting to see over black. So there's 3 coats of Judgment, and this one does have a brownish base, so you can see, hopefully you can see those like blue and orange and green interesting flakes that are in this. I really think it's a cool one. And it looks really interesting over black as well. So I will show you that. And look, I dinged the world. That's great. I love when I ding a nail while I'm in the middle of showing them to you. That really makes me happy. All right, so in case anybody for whatever reason can't see the chat, or if you're watching the VOD later, Arcana Lacquer has responded that yes, they do restocks with each collection launch. So in general, unless you're told otherwise, you can expect that the collections will be restocked. Polishes will be restocked whenever they do a launch. Menma, I can ding the world anytime. I'll ding the world and... I'm not going to start singing that, but let's not do that. Half y'all are too young to know that song anyway. It's all good. All right, so the world... oh, and I need to do a coat of the world in... another coat of that on my swatch wheel where I'm doing cat eye. Almost forgot about that. Let me just get that off to the side here. I promise I will show you the cat eye on the swatch wheel in a minute. Let me just get that magnetic set a little bit. All right, and then back to these babies. We'll do our third coat. So these two being the charity polishes, I'm going to do a third coat of each of those. This one is Harvesting Hope. And there it is. 3 coats. Oh, I should not put this back on because I do need to do a third coat on my swatch wheel. Okay. So you can start to see, once you sort of get this built up a little bit, how that orange shimmer really starts to dominate. It's like a red to orangey gold in some angles, but it really starts to take over the berry base, and it's quite transformative. I am a little bit in love with this once it's built up. I really like how that shimmer starts to take over. For me, I think it really adds a whole lot of complexity to the polish that I think is quite beautiful. And then we'll do our third coat of Glitter is Tough, the topper for this charity duo. These will also be on the site tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, Menma, I knew you wouldn't know the song. Awesomest girl you know knows the song, which just means that she, like I, is old. Old. Old! Not, you don't actually have to be old. Just because I'm old and know the song doesn't mean everybody who knows the song is old. Your first exposure to it was when it was resung by Bowling for Soup? What the hell is Bowling for Soup? Alright, see now I'm too old. I don't know shit. Alright, so let's go up and show you. I'm sorry about the world getting dinged there. Ooh, look at that. That's fun. Yeah. The poor YouTube camera is like not getting any of that good shiftiness up there. And my battery is about to die on my YouTube camera, so give me a minute. I'm just gonna start that back up again. There we go. I hope that the YouTube VOD audience, all 3 of them, appreciate that I just had to stop everything for their sake. Okay, so here's the cat eye that I promised. So this one's the Magician, and this one is the World. So that's 3 coats over the clear swatch sticks. So obviously, if you're going over a clear, it's going to, take a lot more coats to get anything like opacity. So it's sort of it's a little more realistic if you sort of put your hand behind it so you can see more what it really looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and put you know what? I think I'm actually going to do it on my thumb instead of on the swatch wheel. So we'll do just one generous coat of Glitter is Tough over top of Harvesting Hope. So that is the duo together. And again, this one is benefiting an organization that helps helps children with DIPG, which is a type of pediatric brain cancer. So that combo, stunning, stunning, gorgeous. You can see it right there beside the base. Someone remind me I need to insert some photos of what y'all are seeing for the poor YouTube VOD watchers who don't get to watch it firsthand. All right. So that's the whole collection. And the only thing that I wanted to do at this point that I haven't already done, is break one of my magnets. Is show you some of these shimmers over black. So it would help if I grabbed a black creme. Hold up. Here we go. All right, so we got, oop, I just totally mashed my thumb. You see this? Trying to get this bottle of black polish open. Okay. Chris, welcome. You're late, my friend. We're almost done. That's okay, though. I don't mind. You're allowed to show up whenever you can. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think 5, because I want to show it under the charity topper as well, so you can see what it looks like over something other than Harvesting Hope. So I will start with Glitter is Tough. So this is the charity topper, which you can see over top of the charity base here. Harvesting Hope on my thumb, which I dinged really effectively. I did an awesome job there. Okay, so we'll just do one coat. Oh yeah, I knew that was going to be fun. I really like that. That's super cute. So that's one coat of Glitter is Tough, benefiting children with pediatric brain cancer, DIPG, which is a type of brain cancer. What brand do I use for black? These ones, this is Monarch Nocturnal Noir. I use a few different brands though. So, you know, there's, I think right now there's like 3 different blacks that I will reach for nail art and things like that, whether it's like where I want it to be pretty opaque without having to layer a bunch of coats on. So the Monarch Nocturnal Noir, Halotaka One Coat Black, and the latest edition is Abomination Nail Polish, The Abyss. So all 3 of those are pretty good. Usually 1 coat if I'm careful, 2 coats if I'm not careful. If I'm, you know, sort of being lazy with application. Okay, so this is 1 coat of Arcana the Lovers, which you really see a lot more of the purple. So there it is, or the pinky kind of colors. There it is on my pink. Sorry, I'm being an idiot. There it is on my middle finger. it's a lot more like purpley. It's a lot more purpley over the black. It sort of darkens it, makes it a little more vampy. That's cute. Do I think it looks the same painting the black under the wheel versus the top? Yes, I do. Chris just impressed by how smoothly it went on. Yeah, I don't use black crumbs that don't go on like that. I don't waste my time with black crumbs that aren't just real smooth and real opaque. I'm not gonna bother screwing around with them. This is the Hermit. One coat the Hermit versus one coat of the Hermit on my nail. So again, the shimmer becomes real dominant, a little darker. On the nail, you get a lot more of the like fawn base coming through, especially at the edges. Whereas on the black, it's very much like bam green. Okay, and then the star is going to be the next one. Menma, you like the Lovers better over black than on its own? All right, this is the star. Get this lid back on here. Okay, so the star is the one on my pinky here. It's always quite transformative to do any kind of shimmer over a black. This one's really interesting because it's a very dusty purple. It's a really interesting shimmer. It's not like a purpley purple. And the green that it shifts to isn't like a super intense. I don't know if you can see the green shift in this or not, but it's got a green shift that is like not a super green, but it's, you couldn't call it anything other than green. It's all very dusty and interesting. I think that's a cool one. I like that over the black as well. All right, and then the other one that I wanted to show, oh wait, I did not do enough. I wanted to show, I already did this one. Yeah, no, I did do the right amount because I did Glitter is Tough first. I'm an idiot. Judgment is the last one they want to show over black. Yeah, it's like a little bit olivey. Okay, this one is Judgment. Which I think the blue flakes in this really pop a little more over the black than they do on its own. For me, I think the flakes end up like the blue and green just ends up looking a little more intense. It's definitely a vampier version. It's less earthy though, which I think is like part of the thing with Judgment that I like about it is that kind of earthy quality. I think both are really cool though. Is Judgment buildable to full opacity? This is 3 coats. So you'd have to use some kind of a blurring base. I don't use a blurring base. I use the base that I use is it's a ridge filling base, but it's a quite translucent ridge filling base, so it really doesn't significantly blur my my nail line. So yeah, I would say no, it does not build to opacity. I mean, you could probably make it build to opacity if you put enough coats on it or if they were thick enough. But, yeah. All right, what else we got here? Just scrolling back to see the comments here. Plant Nerd Broom, never tried Arcana, only just recently learned about them, but these are gorgeous. You know what? The formulas are fantastic. I really like the Arcana polishes that I've gotten, both the ones that I have gotten in PR and the ones that I have purchased. Which one reminds you of one of the HT Space polishes? Oh, Judgment. Oh, it's similar to Waste of Space from Holotaco. Interesting. I don't have that one. I have not, I haven't bought any Holotaco in a really long time. I don't know about that. They're like, it's not on purpose or anything. I'm not avoiding them. They just haven't really grabbed me for a long time. All right, so that's all of them that are likely to do something interesting over black. And I can do half black underneath the two magnetics as well. I know some people like to do a black base and then just use a single coat of a magnetic to sort of speed things up. I personally don't do that, but oh my god, I just totally stuck a cat fur in my bottle. Okay, no, I got it. I got it. Oh, that would have been very unpleasant later on. Okay, one got on the brush and then like got transported to the edge of the bottle. I was like, oh no, I do not want. Do not want. Okay. So just the right half of both of those have black behind them. So obviously it will change things. It will change the color to some extent. So the world, you get a lot more of that like dark purple. And I think the purple is darker when you have the black behind it. And then, actually that's probably a pretty good comparison, just putting it, oh my god, I just totally stuck my finger right in the black. I'm so good at this, y'all. Yeah, that's probably a pretty decent comparison. That's kind of what it's going to look like in 3 coats, with just your skin behind it, or at least my skin behind it, on the right, and then with black behind it on the left. So you can see there's a pretty distinct difference, and that red shimmer really dominates if you put black behind it. You sort of lose the navy in the Magician when you put black behind it. Quite transformative. Ray says, you don't know the number of times I've pulled a brush out of a bottle and painted a piece of dog fur on my nail and wondered whether it was in the bottle the whole time. Yeah, honestly, like all the time. All the time. Did I put that in there? Or, especially when you know, like, that a given maker has pets, and you're like, is that one of their pet hairs or is that one of my pet hairs? And like, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care either way, but it is funny. Okay, so that is the whole collection plus the charity polish. So again, the charity polishes, Harvesting Hope on its own here. Harvesting Hope with Glitter is Tough over top of it here. And Glitter is Tough on its own here in 3 coats. So those are for pediatric cancer charity. And then we have the Magician in Velvet on my finger and in Cat Eye on the swatch stick. The Lovers, which is this guy here in the bottle. The Hermit. The Star. And then on my other hand, we have the Moon and the Sun. And for those who missed it, Both of those are solar reactive, UV reactive. And again, I know I sound like a broken record to those who've been here the whole time, but using the UV torch is not identical to using the sun. But this at least gives you an idea of what they'll look like. I think the sun is much closer to what it looks like in sunlight, whereas on me at least, the moon is a little more bluish in sunlight rather than purplish in sunlight. And then we have Judgment and the World, which I managed to ding badly enough that it kind of messed up the velvet, but it's still gorgeous. All right, and then, yeah, the one's over black, and there's the World with the cat eye. Was there anything else that anyone wanted to see? Awesomest Girl You Know says, I have purchased so many magnetics recently because of you, and I am not mad at it. Well, I'm not that sorry, I gotta tell you. I'm not that sorry. Because magnetics are awesome, and I am here to preach the good word. Have you heard the good word about magnetics? I also did prep some, like, some marble and fluid art stuff. Just, I don't know, I was just kind of messing around. I wanted to see if it would even work well. And this is, I used all 8 of the main collection polishes in this. I did these before stream. And I just think this is freaking gorgeous, and I kind of want to put it on my nails. I might do that. I think it's really fun. So that's just drag marble on a mat. And then, could you request Judgment over a brown? Yeah, for sure, no problem. I can do that. Let me just peel off this fluid art. I used a black fluid art polish for this one. Oh yeah, that's freaking gorgeous. I'm definitely gonna have to do a mani with that. That's really fun. It kind of looks like black, like the black version of Mother of Pearl. What's that called? There's a name for that, I think. All right, let me find a brown creme. I've got a few. Let me grab... I'll grab Magical Mustache, and I think... let's see. I've got a few different browns here. I've got a couple of Color Club browns, and I've got Magical Mustache from Holo Taco. They're all sort of like slightly different. This one might be a little too plummy. It is technically a brown, but I don't know that it's the best match for... Come on. Come on. There we go. Move you off to the side. So I feel like this one might be the best match for a base, but we'll try all 3. So this one's more of a plummy-ish brown, but I definitely consider it to be, well, I don't know. Maybe it's more purpley. I don't know. It's kind of on that like weird edge between purple and brown because it's so grayed out. But we're gonna try. I went and painted over the top like an idiot. Now we're gonna have to wait for that to dry down. Or I can just ignore that, pretend I didn't do it, and paint it on the other side. We'll just redo it on the other side. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the smart thing. I got these during this that Color Club $1, one of those $1 Color Club things. Oh my god, that's right. This one has the terrible extra bad brush. Oh god, what an awful, awful... You know, there's a reason they're $1. Some of them were okay. Some of them were okay. A lot of them were not that great. Called it dark pearl, Tahitian pearl. Yeah, I think that's correct. That is exactly what I was thinking of. Okay, and then Holo Taco Magical Mustache. I apologize for using a no longer available limited edition polish for this, but it's the brown that I have, so. All right, Judgment. Judgment over a plummy color. Judgment over a very bad warm brown. And Judgment over Magical Mustache. I feel like that darker, warmer one might be better if it was like more even. I think it actually lightens it a fair bit. These are all lighter browns than the brown base of Judgment, which is interesting. I'm going to do a second coat of the Color Club in the middle. See if that helps a bit. Someone needs to tell you when Color Club has these sales. Yeah, I haven't seen one for a long time. I'm trying to remember when that was. Was that like last summer or something they did those? Yeah. It's closer. It's still a lot lighter, I think. But yeah, it works if you wanna accentuate the brown base and you wanna get rid of visible nail line. I would just use a very dark. If you have a very dark desaturated sort of grayish brown, that's what I would use for this. Yeah, Ray, it looks like watercolor. They're not all that bad, right? Like, it's only some of them that are as bad as that. I don't know why. They're like all over the place. Some of them are great. But I guess you get what you're paying for, right? Clearly, I need more browns in my creme collection that are actually good browns. So I don't have to rely on these Color Club trash ones. The problem is, so browns, dark browns, you don't see a whole lot of them to begin with. Especially not like dark desaturated browns. I almost never see them. I see lots of like lighter browns and chocolatey browns, but not so much the more sort of dark desaturated ones. But also, like, I have so many cremes that half the time I see a creme and I go, oh god, like, I don't need that. I have so many cremes and I only use them for nail art. Like, I literally don't paint my nails with creme unless I am doing nail art. It's the only time that cremes go on my nails is if I'm doing nail art. And so it feels like I shouldn't buy too many cremes. But then inevitably I'm like, damn it, I don't have the right color. I need to mix something. And that's fine, but you're always looking for a brown with flakes and you never see them? Yeah, I agree. You like it over the Plum and Color Club? Yeah, it is a really pretty, it's definitely a very pretty color. I really like it. I think I actually do, I don't know, I really like it over the black as well, but I feel like it is really quite compelling over these warmer tones. But, since I don't mind visible nail line, I'm also just totally happy having it in 3 coats on my nails with a little bit of visible nail line. That's fine for me. Menma, what are you saying there? Brownie Points is on Holo Taco Reward right now. I don't really know what that one looks like, so I guess I'd have to go look at it. I'm obsessed with, okay, you know what I'm doing here? Everybody who knows me knows exactly what I'm doing here. I'm just obsessing over the Magician. I'm sitting here staring at my index finger. It's so good. I need to wear this as a full mani again soon because I'm so obsessed with the Magician. Not that the world isn't also beautiful. The world is also beautiful. But the Magician, oh my God, it's so good. Totally obsessed. Last one you saw was Cleaned Space Cacao. All right, I'll check that one out. That's a creme. Yeah, the Magician is fantastic. It is absolutely stealing the show, Menma. This is my problem, right? Like, they're gonna send me this entire collection to swatch, and like it's full of gorgeous polishes, and the very first one that they want me to swatch is the Magician, and I'm like, well, now I can't look at any of the other ones because I just want to wear this one forever. Let me show you, for those who are or maybe are not familiar with My Life as a Shrimp, which is the OG. The Magician is a sibling. So My Life as a Shrimp has the same or very similar, I guess it's a very similar shimmer. It's an orangey red instead of a pinky red shimmer. And the same holo magnetic. And like, they're just, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with these two polishes together. They're like, this is my favorite. This is what I want all of my magnetics to be now. I want some kind of like a really gorgeous base color. I want some kind of an intense contrasty shimmer. And I want a holo magnetic pigment. That's the dream now. You already have too many magnetics? No, you don't. You don't have too many magnetics. You know why? Because you don't have the Magician. Clearly you need that one. Teal and orange, that's not teal, that's green. It's green, 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 green. I can see why it looks teal to you in this light though, because the holo magnetic is changing it. But if you pull away the holo magnetic, it is more of like a almost emeraldy kind of green. It's very green. Anyway, yes. My Life as a Shrimp is the one you've been waiting on a restock for. Well, there you go. Hopefully that'll be restocked tomorrow. Should be restocked tomorrow. Haven't heard otherwise. So you can grab that along with this collection or whatever ones you're going to get from this collection. And then you can live a happy and fulfilled life just like me. Arcana Lacquer, we made a lot of shrimp yesterday. There you go. There's going to be plenty of shrimp. You know, when I first saw shrimp, when I first put shrimp on my nails, I immediately messaged Abby and Brandy and I was like, you have to make more of this. However much you've made, you need to make more of it. You have to make so much of this because this is gonna sell so well. And then, what is it, 2 months later, they come out with the Magician and I did the exact. We'll start that back up again, even though we're pretty much wrapping up here. Okay, so tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the US. You're going to be able to order all these and more at arcanalacquer.com. Oh yeah, I didn't actually make my disclosure at the beginning of this video. I promise I will in the caption though. I was paid to swatch these, but I am not being paid to show them to you here. This is just me doing this because A, they're gorgeous, and B, content. Here, let's just show you. Oh, there it is. There it is. My beautiful video, my beautiful images, my beautiful paintings. The algorithm loves you. Feed the algorithm. Click to submit. I always have to look at those and remind myself. Content is king, right? I don't actually feel that way, y'all. It's ironic. It's ironic. It's to remind myself not to take this shit too seriously. That's why those paintings are there. To remind myself that it's all silly and none of it matters and none of it means anything. It's just the algorithm playing games with us. It's just modern gods. Unknowable modern gods. You know what's better than that? Freaking nail polish. Yes. All right, y'all. Thank you all for coming by and hanging out with me. Let me know if you end up picking these up. I want to see your hauls. I want to know what you ordered. I want to see them on your beautiful nails. Comment in the VOD once it's posted up if you have any questions or any comments. I am also going to be posting the VOD to my YouTube channel. I did that last week. I finally have my YouTube channel up and running. So far it's basically just shorts plus the 2 VODs last week and this week. But yeah, the plan is to continue to post the VODs of my live streams on YouTube, basically unedited, except I'll, maybe add some commentary in places where I have accidentally lied about things being available a certain way or not available a certain way. I'll probably, put a little comment on those, but yeah. All right. So holler if you have any questions. My DMs are always open, and let me know if you have suggestions for future live streams. All right. Thanks, y'all. Bye.